Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first official episode of The Terror Talks. My name is Jeremy, and today we're going to be talking about Nightmare Dungeon. But first, I want to personally thank each and every one of you for checking out the channel and giving us a chance this Halloween season. You're probably wondering, what is The Terror Talks about? Well, we're going to be dissecting haunted houses and reviewing them. We will do our top 10 haunted houses at the end of the season. We're going to be reviewing horror films, discussing horror movie series. We're going to be sharing spooky stories. We're just going to do all things horror-related, Halloween-related, terror-related. We are going to be giving terror a voice on this channel. So, with that being said, we're going to dive right in head first here with Nightmare Dungeon. This is a haunted house located up in Powdersville, South Carolina. This was our first year getting to attend this haunted house, and we have to tell you, this haunted house has been the best one we have had the chance to visit. Everything from the immersion that they create, to the experience, to the scares that they delivered, it was a top-notch performance on everyone's part. Now, you're probably wondering, what makes Nightmare Dungeon so different from other haunted houses that we've been to this season? Well, we're going to talk to you about that and so much more as we go through this episode. First, let's just talk about the setting of this haunted house, the set. When you arrive on the premises here, you arrive at a abandoned farmhouse, or what appears to be an abandoned farmhouse. It's not abandoned anymore. It's now inhabited by the Nightmare Dungeon crew. But you arrive here at this abandoned farmhouse that has been there for over 100 years, and they have created this amazing haunt all inside of it. This is something that has become so rare in the haunt industry now. Nowadays, you go to haunted houses, and they're in warehouses and office buildings in these giant, 30,000 square foot locations. This place is pure, raw, as it was when they got there. This is an old, abandoned farmhouse that they have created a walk-through haunted attraction. The best walk-through haunted attraction, in my opinion. When you get there, you become 100% fully immersed from the minute that your eyes look on this place. When you see the farmhouse towering up on the hill, you automatically get real creeped out. You get this feeling of, oh, something's not right, as you should in a horror movie. And that's what these people do, is they put you at the center of what I can only describe as your own horror movie. You are the star of this film. And they do it so flawlessly. From the minute you get there, you get chills on the back of your neck. You start shaking. Your heart starts pounding. And you are wondering if you made the right decision to visit this haunted house. Well, I can tell you, if ever you're questioning that, yes, you are making the hands-down best decision ever by visiting Nightmare Dungeon. So that's just the setting. When you get inside, they have found a way to create this experience that's old, it's run down. They don't put a lot of detail into the set work because they don't need it. We're going to talk about why they don't need it a little bit later when we talk about the actors and the talent that they bring to the table. But you go through it, there's a couple set pieces here and there, nothing too elaborate, and in fact, I think a vast majority of it is what was already there in the house. The house is very much in its true form still. You go through an entire downstairs area, you go to an upstairs area, you go through an attic, you go through a basement. It's absolutely incredible. It keeps you on edge the whole time because you don't know what's going to happen next. And the way they have designed it keeps you guessing at every single turn. Special effects now. These guys don't need them. Again, something else we're going to talk about when we get to the actors. But they don't really have anything special effects-wise. They don't have these giant animatronics. They don't have crazy things that are going to shock you and, explode or do anything crazy like that, like some of these other big haunted houses. If you ask me, that is a gimmick. That's a gimmick that these other haunted houses uses. And Nightmare Dungeon does not need these gimmicks. When you go in there, the only effect you will see, there are two main effects you're going to see as you go in there. Lighting, because every haunted house has to have good lighting. And fog. That's all you get when you go in there. Those are the only effects the only special effects that they use. There's some audio in there as well. I don't want to cut that short and say there's no audio. There's a couple audio cues in there, a couple things that really make you go, and just freak out a little bit. But they don't have a whole lot of special effects. But why is that? It's because they don't need them. These guys have this raw talent. And that raw talent is scaring you when you go through there. They don't need crazy animatronics to do it. They don't need these fancy sets to do it. They don't need any of that. You go to these other haunted houses now and you see a 50-foot towering building built inside of a 5-foot warehouse. I know, I'm not good at math. That was not, I understand that was not correct math at all. That makes no sense. But still, you get my point. You go in there, you're in a warehouse that clearly is not, to the height that it would appear to be, but you've got these towering skyscrapers in there. And that's what these bigger haunts rely on. Nightmare Dungeon doesn't need it. They don't need it. They don't do it. They don't want it. Because they know what they have. We have been through 26 times. And just those lighting effects and the fog alone make a world of difference. And that's all they need. They don't need crazy set pieces that fall on you. They don't need a giant pig's head coming out from a little doorway on the floor. They don't need any big trucks driving headfirst at you, backing you up into a wall. They don't need it because they're based on talent. Let's talk about that talent now. I've been talking a lot about it, so we're going to dive into that now. When you go in there, as I said before, you're not going to find any special effects. You are going to find actors. These are some of the most talented actors I have ever laid eyes upon. They know their stuff, and they are run by an incredible manager and an incredible owner who also know their stuff. Maybe one of these days we'll get a chance to bring them on the podcast and interview them and have them just talk us through what they do at Nightmare Dungeon. But these guys know their stuff. I've been through there 26 times this season. As I said before, we're going to make it 31 this season. I think by the time you're hearing this podcast, we may have actually achieved 31, and we're going to try and do a whole video on that when it comes time for that. Every time we have gone through, these actors find new ways to scare us each and every time. Never have we gone through there and it has been the same because they are that impressive. They are that good. They are that talented. They know how to elicit the scares from people that they want to get. I've been through there so many times, and each time I look in a corner expecting someone to come out at me, and they're not there. And immediately when I don't see them, I go, oh no, something's not right here. And I start hollering out while I'm in the haunted house, well, where are you at now? Where are you at now? Only to be scared from a completely different location that I never saw coming. These guys are full of talent. They know how to get a scare out of you. They know how to get in your personal space and make you completely uncomfortable. They know how to lurk behind you when you don't expect it and follow you down a pathway for like the entire haunted house. And then at the last minute, you turn around and you see them, and you're like, oh, geez, where'd you come from? Because they're that good. These guys have talent that some of these other haunted houses couldn't dream of having. Again, I'm not putting down these other haunted houses, and I'm not raising this haunted house on some high pedestal and saying they're the absolute best, but they are the absolute best, honestly. They're the best I've been to, and I'm ranking them at number 1 in my book, and I would say they're number 1 in the country. But these guys have got it worked out to a science. Every time I've gone through there, they have found a way to make it different and unique. I can safely say this is the only haunted house I've ever actually been scared of going in every single time, because I never know what they're going to do. You get there, and you are given a choice. You can wear a glow stick necklace, or you can go through without one. If you go through without one, it's your typical haunted house. They're going to invade your personal space. They are going to jump out from behind a wall and scare you, and they are going to give you a heck of a time. If you wear that glow stick necklace, buckle up, because they are going to give you an experience no other haunted house can deliver, and one that you will never forget. I've been through it 26 times, and I have never forgotten the first time I went through with the necklace on, because they make it incredibly immersive. What does the necklace do? Well, I think you've already figured it out. If you haven't, well, here's what it does. You put that necklace on, you automatically become fair game in this haunted house. They can touch you. They can drag you around. They can pull you behind a door, separate you from the group, drag you into complete and utter darkness, and hold you until the group is 20 feet away in 3 rooms from there, and then let you figure out the way on your own to catch up with them again. These guys are awesome with this. This is something that not a lot of haunted houses do, mainly because of issues that can arise from it. You know, people touch the actors because they got touched, and then the next thing you know, you're leaving with a pair of shiny handcuffs on your hand. And that's just not something that a lot of haunted houses want to get involved with. Nightmare Dungeon says, no, we know how to handle this. We've got it figured out. So when you wear that necklace, you can be touched. I have worn the necklace all but 3 times. All but 3 times I have worn that necklace. My first 2 times I went through, I wasn't feeling brave enough yet. The 3rd time I went through with a group with my necklace on, but they didn't have the necklace on, so I was able to see just what's going to happen. Every time since then, I have worn the necklace. And I loved every minute of it. If you get a chance to check them out, I highly recommend wearing that necklace, because it's going to make all the difference. This haunted house is the best one ever. Granted, we haven't been across the rest of the country, but in the South, it is definitely ranked the spot of number 1 in our books. This is a haunted house that I'm seriously recommending that everyone go and check out. If you haven't done it this season yet, go. It's not too late. There is still plenty of time to make it out there. They are open 7 days a week. Now, this is another one of those things that sets them apart from every other haunted house we've been to. 7 days a week. There's not a haunted house anywhere that opens its doors every single night. They are open every single night from 8 o'clock until 11 o'clock. On the weekends, I think they go till midnight, but really they just go until the last guest is out of there. As I said, they have packed the place on many given weekends. I've gone there on one weekend. I've only been brave enough to go out on a weekend. And when I got there, the line was stretched out to the parking lot, past the end of the haunt. I was there for probably a total of 2.5 to 3 hours. That's how high the demand of this place is. With that being said, I highly encourage you to try and make it out on a weekend just once to say you've experienced it. If you can make it on a weekday, if you're trying to avoid the crowds, go on the weekdays because there's not nearly as many people there. But that being said, I've also been on a couple weekdays, and I had to wait a while. Now, granted, it wasn't 3 hours, but sometimes on a weekday you get the occasional spur of groups, and you are waiting for at least a good 20 minutes or so. That happened to me last week. I was waiting a while for a couple people. And the reason for that is, in case you're wondering, you're going, oh, I don't know about this. They're trying to give you as a personal experience as they can. So they try to separate those groups out as much as they possibly can so they can give you that personalized experience for each group because they want to ensure that you are getting scared to the nth degree. I don't get scared by much. This haunted house truly scares the shit out of me. They are that amazing, and they are that unique. Because I've been through several haunted houses, and I get scared by the little puff of smoke that you get. Not puff of smoke, just the little air cannon that fires at the back of your neck. I've gotten scared by that more times than I can count in these other haunted houses. This one, I have actually been scared by the actors every single time. Even the ones who I see coming, they still scare me to this day. This is an incredible haunted house that you have to check out. If you come on a weekend, they have awesome things going on there. They've got people who play with fire and dance with fire. I'm not sure what the technical term for that is, but they've got that. They've got music playing out there. They've got lights on rainy weekends. If you are planning a trip there and you see that it's going to be rainy, don't cancel your plans. Don't do it because they have shelter that they have readily available and accessible to make sure that you stay dry while you're there. They don't want to turn you away. They want to bring as many of you in as they possibly can. Their goal is to scare and entertain, and they are succeeding with that tenfold this year. If you can, I highly encourage you to make it out this year. This is a haunted house that I would put at number 1 at the top of my list. And when we do our top 10 haunts for the season, at the end of the haunt season, we'll probably do it the first or second week in November. This one will more than likely make number 1 because it has been the absolute best I have been to this year. It has been the most unique I've been to. It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And I highly encourage you to go there. Go there any day of the week if you can make it. If you live in the nearby area, definitely go. That's your local haunted house. And that's the thing. I'm going to stand up on a soapbox here a little bit. Please, 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 please support your local haunted houses. They need that support this year because they're not sure if they're going to open their doors next year. There are several of them I have seen while I've been trying to find other haunted houses to go to. Several of them have said we are closed for the 2020 season. Those closures can seriously affect them. And the ones that are open, if not enough people come, they don't make the money, and they're not sure if they can open up next year. Go to these haunted houses. Get scared. Have a good time. Maybe you've never been to a haunted house before. If you've never been to one, go to Nightmare Dungeon first. This is one that is fantastic to start off with because you're going to get scared. If that's what you're looking for, if you're looking to get scared, go there. If you're looking to just something for scenery things, there are plenty other haunted houses you can go to for that. But if you are looking for scared and you're looking for a unique experience, Nightmare Dungeon is the top one for that. You are not going to get a better experience, and you're not going to meet better people anywhere else either. I have personally spoken with the management there, with the scare actors who run around outside, and with the actors inside. These guys are down-to-earth people. Honest to God, these guys are awesome. I have had personalized conversations with them as I'm going through the haunted house even. Sometimes they will kind of break character, but not really. They'll stay in character but have a conversation with me because they know it's me coming. and they are just the nicest, sweetest people you are going to run into. And if you get a chance to talk to them, if you get a chance to talk to the owner, if you get a chance to talk to the manager, take it, talk to them. They are awesome people. They are cool people. They are people that you definitely want at the top of your friends list because they are just really cool people to hang out with. I am so honored that I've even had the chance to speak with them because usually I go to these haunts and I don't get to come into any contact with the managers, the owners, the people in charge. This one, I have had conversations with each and every one of them, and they are awesome people. The management is awesome. They are very kind people. They are fun people to hang out with. When you go there, you are going to have a hell of a time. You are going to go there, and you are going to want to go through, like me, 26 more times, or in the case of later this week, 31 more times. Nightmare Dungeon. It is located in Powdersville, South Carolina. Look it up online. They are open 7 nights a week. They open at 8 o'clock when it gets dark out because they don't want any sunlight getting into that place. They open at 8 o'clock. Be there. If you can make it during the week, awesome. And if you can make it during the week, try to go through as many times as you can. Buy as many tickets as you can. That's an experience that you don't want to miss out on. This is an incredible place, y'all. And if you get the chance to go, take it. Go on a weekend just once to say you did it. You will make it through that haunted house probably one time total. That's all I made it through on a weekend. But you are going to get an experience unlike any other because on the inside, they're going to make sure you have a great time. You'll be with a group, and that will be fun. And then on the outside, there is so much entertainment and fun stuff happening that it is absolutely impossible to be bored while you're there. Take the chance to visit Nightmare Dungeon. This is a haunted house that you will not forget and you will not regret. If you like the video and if you like the podcast, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, like us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the Terror Talks on all of it. We'll have all the links in the description. We'll have a link to Nightmare Dungeon's page in the description as well. Be sure to comment below. Tell us what you want to hear. If you've got a recommendation for a haunted house, be sure to drop that there or feel free to DM us. We check our DMs quite frequently. But we will see you guys next time. My name has been Jeremy, and this has been the Terror Talks.